Hello, welcome to whatever it is I'm doing. As always, I have no idea. It's been a while since my last video, partially due to me starting work as a photographer, partially due to me not having the time and energy to work on videos. Why then am I now making a video again? I assume that when I upload this, the channel has recently hit 600 subscribers. Now, this was initially planned as a 500 subscriber special, but a few videos ago I bought some comics and unboxed them in the video and announced a thing that I was working on. And while continuing work on that project, which is still going on, stay tuned. I wasted loads more money on all sorts of stuff, and I'm going to continue to do so. Right, I made an announcement for a big project that I'll be working on, and then once I hit 400 subscribers or 500, I wanted to be like, here's the proper announcement and the release date. I have no idea when I'm gonna be done and when it's gonna be publishable. State of the project is as stated. I'm working on it. It's a slow process. It's a big thing. I'm hoping to get it done, get the first part at least done by the release of Saw X, which just wrapped shooting. Oh fuck, there's a movie more I gotta do then. Loads of things going on with that. We'll see. My god, do I have the need to make a video, cause things went off. Before I announced that project I'm talking about, I made a video, a compilation of David Lynch interviews where he talks about depression and art, right? No big deal, no one cared for like a year, until I announced this big project that I plan to pour a lot of effort into and it's gonna take a while. And then this David Lynch video just pops the fuck off. It's been crazy. The channel went over 500 subscribers within like a month. Let's see. YouTube Studio. Within the last 28 days, people watched 4,000 hours of my content. That is wild. That is absolutely fucking wild. 150,000 views within the same time span. There is 200 comments here, which I'm not gonna be able to go into all of them, which is wild to say about one of my videos. I don't know where this came from. I'm not complaining. I just wish that this came when I was actually actively uploading on a semi-regular basis, which I'm not at the moment. I just wanted to appreciate the amount of traction that this channel has gotten, to me entirely out of the blue, through this David Lynch compilation video that I did. I think I took like 2 hours to finish that, or to make that video. If I had known, it would be different. And if I do it now, it would be different just in terms of what's included. Oh, I think my dad called me.
Hi.
Hi, na? Hast du mich angerufen?
Ja, klar.
Erzähl mal, was gibt's? Bis denn. Tschö. That was my boss. I wanted to, let me look through some of the comments, just because there's really interesting stuff there that I do want to go into. There's my phone. There's an amazing amount of people telling their honest stories about their struggle with depression or various mental illnesses. I suffer from 17 different extremely painful and neurological migraine conditions, and I must agree, if you're chronically ill, mentally or physically, you cannot create. Yeah, stuff like that. It's amazing how many people come out and tell things about their struggle, which I'd love to get into and respond to. There's this romantic idea of a depressed artist, but in reality, depression is a killer of creativity. So that was basically the point of David Lynch in the video. God, the Twin Peaks theme is so perfectly timed in this video. It always gives me the chills. Thank you. Does anyone have a link to the first interview? I can put a list of sources in the description, which I should have done from the beginning, but it looks like some of the sources that I took the video source from have been taken down. There was somewhere in these comments someone who said they might have access to the video of one of these entire lectures, which I'd love to see. I haven't heard from them yet, but Now, many people expressed their agreement and gratefulness even for this video or for his words. I don't want to take the credit because I just took a bunch of things he said and put them in one place. Now, I want to find some of the more critical comments because I actually wanted to reply to this. Both critical of the video and of the things he said and of Lynch himself. Because some I find funny and stupid, while some I actually agree with. Chicken shit. What's this supposed to say? Oh, this was a long and rather forward comment that was critical of all this, that I even favorited. Why people like to talk with so much poetry about things they don't really fucking know. Suffering and the way you deal with it is relative to each individual. One person might be extremely depressed, but be functional and appear extremely functional, while others are just sad and stop their productivity by half. David talks like he knows how each person acts, how depression or suffering happens in every person. Almost like he doesn't know that each individual can be infinitely different in almost all situations. I'm diagnosed with PTSD, not me, this person, severe depression, anxiety, and autism. And the way I deal with art is to be always creating the max I can, with the most expression of how I'm feeling. And a lot of the time, I'm creating without feeling good about it. I create more like a consequence of my own suffering. A lot of times, art to me is like a vomit, but even then, I try to meet a certain criteria of quality, just so I can emulate the feelings like I feel them. Don't let people invalidate your feelings, emotions, or the way you act because how they assume you are supposed to act in specific situations. They are following their own experience or the general consensus of society. This is a somewhat critical comment that I entirely agree with, right? I want to point out that as many people in these comments as agree with Lynch's standpoint, more critical ones I feel are important for a discussion, especially when it's well phrased like this. There is reasons to be critical. I love myself some David Lynch art. I have the Blu-rays right here. I have the soundtrack of Twin Peaks. I have a weird cover of the soundtrack of Twin Peaks. I'm a big fan of his art. I am greatly interested in him as a person. There's many people out there that just love everything this man says and does and publishes. There's fans like this for every artist or creator or filmmaker, but it's a different taste. Don't take everything this man says as the words of the holy. Well, I don't want to talk down on Lynch fans. I'm a Lynch fan. But keep it real. Keep it real.
Get real.
You can understand conflict, but you don't have to suffer in it. That is so profound. Is it now? Alright, what a king. I think I'm more critical of my video than many of these people are. I really wish the music wasn't playing. Yeah, several people said this. Other people said the music was perfect, but nonetheless, I made a version of the video that doesn't have the music in it, and I put it somewhere. NK said this 9 days ago. What's the point of this video? Depression is not the same for every person, and it's not the same feeling that makes everyone create. Usually it's strong feelings, and these feelings can be different. I wrote poetry when my heart was bursting with love, and I wrote poetry when my heart was bursting with pain. And I wrote about love and pain. On these days when I feel normal, I don't write anything because there is nothing to write about. Creativity is also an outlet for people's agony, depression, struggle, etc. Of course, there is no need to romanticize depression, but I also don't see the need for Lynch to generalize everyone's experience and make claims such as, if you're truly depressed, you can't get out of bed. As if high-functioning depression doesn't exist, and that if you're depressed, you can't create. Yes, I just want to highlight this for a moment. He is just a guy with a limited life experience, and what he says doesn't apply to everyone. He phrases it like it does, but it does not. There is a great possibility that you can suffer from severe depression while still creating, and even creating a great capacity of art, or whatever it is you're doing. That I want that to be said. Many people pointed this out, that yeah, it's true for some people, but it's not a universal thing as he presents it as. Again, I want to highlight that this is me presenting Lynch's view on the matter and not exactly my view on the matter that I just put out on my channel. It's more of a documenting. So I remember someone, I don't know if I'm gonna find it, someone accused me of putting words into David Lynch's mouth, which I don't see how I'm supposed to have done that, since these are his words. This is several separate accounts of him mentioning a thing here and there about the same topic, and I was the one who compiled it together. Get over it. Looking for a pity party or being depressed is not the same thing as being brave or courageous. It's getting annoying how many people use so-called depression as a crutch. Get over yourselves, move on, and live life. I'm amazed at this. I've been diagnosed with depression. I went to therapy. I've taken medication to help me. I'm not in therapy anymore. I am not on medication anymore. And I'm doing fine. So, it's not impossible to get out, but saying get over yourselves does feel disrespectful to the people that do suffer from depression and feel limited in the things they find themselves able to do. I love his art, but yeah. There is things I feel are not talked about enough, which I want to keep in mind, especially now that I have like a video with major traction with David Lynch fans and interested people discussing in the comments. Lynch is an avid supporter, for instance, of transcendental meditation. This is the technique to get out of depression that he talks about in the video, or that he's referring to. I didn't put any clips of him talking about transcendental meditation in, because that would have A, blown the proportions of the video, because it's a whole nother topic, and B, when he talks about a technique to lift the sadness, as he says, he doesn't just mean the technique that worked for him. I don't think it's in the video, but there's even clips of him saying this could be different for many people. The thing is that transcendental meditation is often sketchy business. I've heard multiple people call it culty. I'm not well informed enough to make that judgment, but yeah, it is a strange thing that I'd be very careful with taking recommendations for. Now, another thing, I think this would blow the proportions of this video to talk about that even, but just, he's kind of dated in his views, talking about like societal things. That's the whole fucking thing. Phew. Yeah, just be careful when idolizing your favorite artists. That's just a general thing. Lynch is still my favorite artist, but I need to see these things and process them, you know, change my view of things. Alright, I think that's enough of the comments. I focused very much on the disagreeing ones because I felt that there was more to be said, but most of the comments were very thanking and positive. Many told interesting stories that I read most of this. I read pretty much all of this. I just don't find the time to reply anymore. But thank you so much for all this crap. I don't know, if I forgot anything, I might add this and edit like I did last time, but yeah, as always, I didn't script anything. Right. I'm gonna go my way. And stay tuned until the next time I'm gonna do an update or announcement without having done any actual content in between. See you then!